Mic trigger. Mic lock button is on. Double tap to lock mic. Hello, folks, and welcome to the first in the Underground series of many videos. I've started this on Sunday, August the...
Today is Sunday, August 30, 2020.
And we're making this...
The time is 11:07 p.m.
7 minutes past 11. It probably won't end then, but it'll probably end at a different time, a different day. So, first of all, welcome back to something new, I guess. Now, I wanted to do these videos on educational purposes, on what the underground could be. And we're doing all these videos on space and aliens and portals and so on. And we're keeping it to that. So anybody asking anything else outside of that, Shadow Realm, magic, whatever, then just DM me, and I'll try and get the answer to you as quickly as I can.
11 o'clock.
People have asked about the current state of affairs. We'll get to that later on in the series. But first, I want to tell you how the underground and the mainstream work. I am going to do what makes underground my underground journey. That will be in this series, because I've just restarted the underground adventure, should we say, underground venture, in sort of a career path. If it's like the mainstream versus the underground, and we're going to do that as another episode right here, and that's going to lead to rants and so on and so forth. But today's not a rant. Today is a video about something quite interesting. And today's video is just for the underground community alone, but also for anybody mainstream jumping on board. Hello, welcome aboard. So we did a video ages ago about test tube aliens, and haven't researched on aliens for a while, and stopped researching on aliens. And then I researched, I did further research, and then we stopped researching. And then we had the Salcist. And we'll come to that in a different video, and we'll also come to that again somewhere else, because yeah, I like the theories on the Salcist. I think I think we need to be open to all that kind of thing, especially where there's majestic evolvements coming, whatever. Astrology, I'm not necessarily interested in, and for various reasons. But yeah, so we got the Solstice, test tube aliens, and then we had Sky Trumpets. I did a video in the Facebook group about sky trumpets, but I shall do a whole video on sky trumpets just alone. And you see, this is where the mainstream gets scared, because they're not. Nobody is basically ready. This is another thing about the current climate. Nobody's ready for a next wave of war, should we say. Got to be careful when we talk about this, because the mainstream is out there to get us. Let's put it that way. But we're not dissing anybody from the mainstream. This whole thing is all this educational stuff. And when we talk about the mainstream and the underground, we gotta respect everybody here. It's what you gotta do. That's how YouTube works. But I don't know. We've got some reading material which we haven't finished. I haven't finished a video on that later on in the series, unfortunately. But we've got some material to show you guys on a lot of stuff that's out there, and once you show you guys, we'll, but back to sky trumpets. Yeah, it's kind of a mysterious thing. I guess the unexplained. Speaking of the unexplained, at the beginning of lockdown, I was outside with my mum and stepdad, and I couldn't see it, but my stepdad described to me about this dot that's flying overhead. And we were like, oh, UFOs. Oh, I don't believe in UFOs. Well, I do. We don't know what's out there. These flying things across the sky and then they disappear. Do spirits have machines? Well, they possibly can. But I believe in aliens. But I don't believe in the theories that surrounds them. Because, I believe that something out there has helped man, and we've helped them, obviously, They've obviously had advanced technology to send to the Earth. There's no thorough evidence that says about alien technologies. I know the mainstream have been asking this question. Whoops. But yeah, aliens are advanced. we humans are a bit slow when it comes to, you know. Oops. But there is a spiritual thing connected with artificial intelligence. And I do want to come to that in a very different video. Very different video. Because there's a lot of people think that robots are controlling humans, and I want to come to that in a different video. But we're just sticking on space for now. So, well, my theory on, I'm going to come to Stonehenge. I just want to clarify that, and I'm going to come back to this, the solstice. So there's a few people out there that probably think that aliens have built Stonehenge, and aliens have probably built tombs. Well, my belief is, yeah, probably aliens have come over to help man. And they're probably 99.9%, well, they're probably 99.9% on the way there with the theory, but they're not 99.9% right. Because there's been archaeologists that have basically found or are finding how where the stones are coming from for Stonehenge. But it does lead to artificial intelligence, which, like I said earlier in this video, that I would do another video on, because you know, I kind of want to stick to what I'm talking about, really. But you know, aliens are advanced, more advanced than us. You know, if you think back to the day, okay, right, I want to put this right. When Adam and Eve were put on the earth, right, and they ate the apple, right, because you know how that all happened, right, so they ate the apple. Well, Adam and Eve had the knowledge and the wisdom then. They were then told not to eat from the tree of knowledge. Because Adam and Eve weren't clothed. This is something we don't think about. But they weren't clothed. They weren't just clothed like, how can I explain this? They weren't just clothed with clothes. They were clothed with thoughts. Like, everything was uncensored. There was nobody saying what they could do or not do. There was only one person that was censoring what they could do. Like, what they could touch. Like, they could eat all the fruit of the garden. Except for the one fruit. The forbidden fruit of the tree. And I think that eating the fruit as we know it, you know, it wasn't just they were munching on an apple. That was like spiritual words in a sense. I mean, there probably was a poison apple for all we know. But when you hear about that story, there's about 3 different people that spoke to Adam and Eve. And guess what? God knew. But I want to just come to this analogy for a minute. So this whole apple thing. Adam and Eve knew right from wrong. They chose to just do wrong. And when it comes to man, well, the way we think is, going to the apple analogy, we think when we're eating the apple, what's actually behind that? You know, it's... I'm going to come to this whole analogy again when I talk about artificial intelligence, because there's something behind that, and it's something that, you know, we need to take into mind. And it's the same thing when we come to the whole apple thing. I know it's not important, the whole thing about the apples itself is not important, but just to know that there's something behind that is mostly more important. It's like the tree of knowledge is more important than the apple ever will be. The apple is not an important thing. Well, not now it isn't, because it was eaten. The fruit of the tree. It's mentioned, in fact, the fruit of the tree is mentioned in quite a lot of scriptures. And tree of knowledge is mentioned. Like, the tree of knowledge is Jesus Christ. And God recarved the tree into Jesus later on. And when he died on the cross, he was then transformed from man to a spiritual being. And what's more amazing is Jesus is a tree. Nobody sees him like that, but that's how I see Jesus. Living. Jesus is still living. Jesus is not dead. And you know, Jesus did not want to be powerful on this earth. Jesus wanted to just do what he had to do. There was people had to do what they wanted to do so they could follow in the ways, the footsteps. It was a very, very difficult time. It's not like now. But where are we? So, you know, you got to think what's behind all of this. You know, we have technology and we don't seem to think, well, man isn't as amazing as we seem to be. But we have, like, teams of people behind us. And so on. And that's what I want to come to. And in fact, no, I'm going to leave it till the next video, because I think, like, this is the first kind of touch, really. I think I want people to watch this video back and watch it back and watch it back and watch it back. Don't just, you know, because I'm going to do it to make notes for the next video. Usually I would just shrug it off, but I think this video is kind of the key to what we're going to be talking about in the next coming videos and so on. And because obviously I want people to go into this whole series with an open mind, because like we're going to get into a lot of deep stuff into the series and try and unlayer stuff and try and reset people's thinking. But in order to do that, you've got to follow what we're saying in this video about, you know, and I'm not trying to make anybody into something that they're not, but I think people should just go out there and question things, question everything, because if you don't, like, you can question anything. The Bible, the papers, what's in the news today. People may be against it because that's what society is, but most of society is in a dead end. But hopefully, you know, I mean, the great questions are the ones that you have to keep searching for the answer for, and the great answers are the ones that still don't answer the question fully. Sometimes an answer won't, it's like the piece won't always fit the jigsaw correctly. Or it will, but then you'll find another missing piece, another missing puzzle. And the one question that I've been asking for years, I'm still asking, even though I've had it answered. In a way, I've not had it answered fully. I just haven't had the bits answered that I want answering. So I'll come to that in another episode. And yeah, I'm going to leave this video right here. But hopefully we can come back and we can talk about where we've left off, obviously. But yeah.
Mic trigger, but mic lock. Finish recording, but